Hey guys, welcome back to my colourful country life and my personal favourite video of the month, my colouring plans video for July. And I have got lots of pages picked out this month. Geez, that's heavy. I'm looking forward to all of the choices this month. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're interested in seeing this month as well. We've got lots of colour alongs to come, a few whips to finish off, some technique videos, some new concept videos as well, which are going to be really fun, and of course more pencil tests and lots more colour combos to come. So let's move over to the desk and keep going. Let's start with our full book colour alongs, and first up we have Rooms of Wonder by Joanna Basford. I am still hoping to complete this book this year, so for the foreseeable future I am aiming to colour at the least 2 pages a month. So I have picked 2 for July, and the first page I have picked is this page of little cakes here. Now, as always, this one is going to be a full colour along on the channel. If you have been colouring your way through this book with me, thank you so much for following along. But if you're new to the channel, you can find all of the previous pages we've coloured in my Rooms of Wonder playlist, which I will link in the eye above here. We are over 80% completed with this book, and they are all colour alongs up on the channel as well. So one of the reasons I chose this page for July is because it sits opposite the Cuckoo Clock Tea Party that we coloured in June. Now, I'd really like these 2 pages to feel like they belong together once they're finished and sit nicely side by side. So rather than use the exact same colours though, I am planning to carry across that kind of soft pastel feel, but I'm going to warm it up a little bit with a few brighter tones so the 2 pages complement each other rather than looking identical. So I'm definitely going to be bringing in some oranges, maybe even a soft pastel purple, along with some richer browns as well for a bit more contrast and for that chocolatey look too for some of the cakes. Now, the cakes are all quite small, contained illustrations, so I think they're going to be really satisfying to colour. They remind me a little bit of the Lost Property Objects double page spread we completed earlier this year. Yeah, earlier this year, where you get lots of those little wins as you work your way across the page, except this time I'm going to be colouring the whole page in one video, whereas with the double page spread of Lost Property Objects we went row by row. At the moment, I'm also not planning to add a background. I think I want the desserts to be in the main focus, although knowing me, I could always change my mind and maybe add a soft blue gradient later so it ties in with the cloud background on the opposite page, or pull out one of the other soft pastel colours, maybe like a light pink. I don't know. We shall see when we get to it. I have got a little bit of a tear on this page. This book is looking a little bit rough. It's been through the wars. So the next page that I chose is this pineapple page. Honestly, every time I flip through this book and see this page, I think of SpongeBob. I just can't help it. I've got this picture in my head of the pineapple sitting on the ocean floor with sand all around it and some coral growing out from the side. Whether I can actually pull that off is another story, because I don't draw. Because there is so much white space on this page, I am thinking I'll probably add a border first rather than trying to fill the whole page. I might even do like a stripe down the center or something like that. Then I would love to add some large coral around the pineapple. I might see if Joanna has some large coral in one of her other books. Maybe Lost Ocean might have some that I can trace, because like we all know, I really cannot draw. So we shall see. Although maybe I'll surprise myself. Maybe I'll give it a go myself. At the moment, I'm thinking of using either my gel sticks or maybe my soft pastels to create the background with the sand fading into the ocean. Then I'll colour the pineapple in fairly traditional pineapple colours. I'm thinking of adding some pinks and purples into the coral, and then bringing in some lovely teals and yellows into the room inside our little pineapple here. I also want it to sit nicely next to the cake page too. I don't want them to match exactly. It's going to have a different feel to it, but similar in tone when you see them side by side. So I might use some purple, some blues and some pinks, but there will be a different tone of purple, blue and pink than what I've used on this page, if that makes sense. So hopefully that is all going to come together exactly the way I am imagining it. And that's my choices from Rooms of Wonder for July. All right, next up we have Dark Fairytales by Kerby Rosanes. This is our other 4-book colour along on the channel. So if you're colouring along with me, you will find all the videos in the playlist linked in the eye above here. And the page I've got marked is actually the same one from June because I just ran out of time to colour it in June. And this is our last page in the Beauty and the Beast section, I think. Yes, it is. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting this completed and finishing off this entire section. Now, I did talk through my original colour palette idea in last month's plans video, but one of my biggest takeaways from reading your comments was discovering that this lovely lady is actually the Enchantress. So thank you to everybody who pointed that out, because now I can't unsee it. It makes so much sense. And I did do a little bit of research. So she normally wears green. So I think I'm going to go a little off script from this because I think there's a lot of green happening anyway, or in my plans that are in my head. So I might make her cape here like a really deep dark green, and then I think I'm going to go with maybe a brighter red bodice to tie in with the roses on the opposite page and just to help her stand out a little bit more, and perhaps a deep blue for the skirt. I want her to be quite bold and be quite a bit of a focal point actually. I'm also playing around with the idea of using blue flames instead of the traditional orange and red, just to symbolize the magical effects of the curse and make the magic feel a little more magic. But we'll see. I am going to color the background first and then the beast, because once I actually get some color on the page, I might completely change my mind. I am a very visual person. I've currently got 2 different versions of this page running through my head at the moment, and I'm still not sure which one is going to win out. So hopefully you will see this page completed on the channel very soon. Now onto our project books. I'm actually really excited because we're starting 2 brand new project books that will take us right through to the end of the year. First up is Sagen by Maria Trolle. This is one of my favourite Maria Trolle books. Somehow I've only coloured 1 page in it so far, so I'm really looking forward to finally spending a bit more time with this book and getting some more pages completed over the next 6 months. And the page I have chosen to kick things off with is the Jack and the Beanstalk page, this one here on page 20. I think this is such a cute page. It's got plenty of detail, but it's not overly intricate. So I think it's going to be a really relaxing and fun one to colour. I am picturing a really soft blue gradient sky with some colourful pastel coloured clouds. And then because the background's going to be quite soft, I want Jack and the Beanstalk to really pop off the page. I'm thinking some lovely rich deep yellow greens for the leaves. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with Jack's outfit. I do have a few ideas floating around, so I think he's probably going to be the last thing I colour once I can see how the rest of the palette is coming together and see what colours I can draw from that. I am thinking blues, browns and greens, but I do want him to pop as well. So we shall see when we get to that part of the page. That's the plan anyway. So ask me again when I start colouring, because it could completely change. I should check my videos back after I colour the page and see how off script I actually go. I often have one idea in my head and then it completely changes once I start to colour. Okay, so our next project book is The Land of Small Adventures by Rita Berman. I am actually really excited for this one. I absolutely love Rita and her books, so I'm really happy to have one of her books back in my monthly rotation. I've actually held off colouring in this book until now because I want to give you all a chance to get your hands on a copy first so you can colour along with me. And if you are in the UK, Australia or Europe, it's probably been fairly easy to find, but I know it's been a little trickier for my US friends. So I will leave some links down in the description of places that do ship internationally or worldwide if you would like to grab a copy and join in with us. So the page I've chosen to kick things off, I went all in this month. I've chosen this gorgeous village scene here. It's one of my favorite pages in the entire book. It is packed with detail, which you all know I love. And every time I look at this page, I notice something new. So at the moment, I'm picturing a soft autumn color palette with golden ochres, rusty oranges and teals. I can almost imagine the swings are moving in the breeze and all of these little windows here are just glowing. I think once I start colouring, it'll be really interesting to try to work out exactly what's happening in the background because there's so much to discover on this page and it can be a little confusing at first glance. So I'm looking at it now. We've got stars in the sky, but we've got clouds. The clouds don't have an end. And then we have what looks like a puddle with a leaf in it, but that water comes around here where our swing set is. So I'm going to kind of just make it up as I go and decide what is what myself. Now for the mediums, I'm thinking I'll probably base with either Derwent Inktense or maybe my Tombow markers just to get some nice vibrant colour down first, and then layer my Prismacolors over the top. I do have a feeling this one is going to take me quite a while because there is a lot happening, but I think it is going to be well worth it in the end. Okay, so on to the rest of my July picks. I'd love to know which page you're most excited to see. So if there's one you would really like to see as a colour along, pop it down in the comments because I do keep an eye on which pages get mentioned the most when I'm deciding what to film next. First up, I've chosen a page from Wildflower Folk by Christine Karron, and if you have seen my video on my top 5 favourite colouring book illustrators, you will know Christine made that list. I absolutely love the way she illustrates her portraits. She is definitely my go-to artist whenever I'm in the mood to colour a portrait. And the page that has been calling to me this month is the Forest Sprite page. Now, I really want to have some fun with this one. I want to create another fantasy skin tone, maybe even some fantasy hair as well. And then I'm going to keep all of the earthy elements on the page a little bit more true to life. So hopefully the portrait and that fantasy skin really becomes the focal point of the page. I think my Prismacolors are going to be my first choice for this page. They've just got such a great range of colours, perfect for the look that I've got in my head. And now I just need to try to get what's in my head onto the paper. So we will see how that goes. Next up is Fuzzy Hygge by Vivi Tinta, and I have picked the Antique Shop page. I have a really fun experiment planned for this one. It is a concept that I've been thinking about for a while now, and I honestly cannot wait to film it. I'm not going to say too much more as I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's going to be a little bit different from my usual colour along, so keep your eye out for that page coming very soon. Next up is Tales from the Castle Ruins by Hannah Carlson, and the page I have chosen is this old castle turret. Now, I know colour in stone probably doesn't sound all that exciting, but trust me, we are definitely not just colouring this grey. I really enjoy colouring stone because you can build up so many different colours and layers to give it lots of texture and character. I also want to add in plenty of moss and weathering, so it looks like this castle has been sitting here for centuries with nature slowly taking over. Even though the page is mostly just this stone structure, I still want this page to feel really colourful. At the moment, I'm picturing a sandy foreground, and rather than leaving these rocks as rocks, I'm actually going to turn them into little mounds of dirt. So then I can bring in some rich earthy browns with the grass growing through them as well. So we're going to bring in some colour down there. And for the background, I do have a couple of ideas floating around, but the one I keep coming back to is placing either a sun or a moon behind the top of the turret here and then creating a lovely glow around it. So even though this page looks fairly simple at first, I'd say, I think there's a lot that we can do with it, and I'm really looking forward to bringing a bit of life back into these old castle ruins that have been sitting here empty and dilapidated for many centuries. I'll also put some links down below for where you can purchase this book, if you're looking to grab a copy. Alright, next up I have Maria Trolle's new book, The Magical Library or The Magic Library. If you watched my review video on this one, you'll probably remember me saying that this book felt quite a lot simpler than Maria's previous books, and I still stand by that. I think I was just expecting the same fuller, more details in her scenes that we're used to seeing from her in her other books. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like the book though. I do enjoy colouring simpler pages every now and then. I just wish I had known going into it that this book was a lot simpler. So I could have adjusted my expectations appropriately. So anyway, I think these smaller illustrations are going to make fantastic color-alongs, and sometimes it's really nice to have a quicker page in between some of those bigger, more detailed projects like those double page Kirby's. So the first page I've chosen is this one here with its almost psychedelic 70s feel. I think it's quite a fun little illustration. I am picturing a really bold, vibrant, bright palette based around primary colors. So your reds, your blues, your yellows, also lots of greenery throughout the page as well. This little stopwatch here, I don't know why, but it gives me Alice in Wonderland vibes. So I think that's going to be gold. I think this is going to be a really fun page just to kick off our color alongs from this book. So this will be my first page that I color in here. So that's exciting. That looks like a really fun, colorful, vibrant page to color. Next up, I've got Forest and Nature by Rayan Udisi, and this is another book that I haven't started yet, so it's about time I changed that. And the page I've chosen this month is The Message in the Bottle scene. It is right up my alley. To me, it almost feels more like I'm looking into an aquarium or a fish tank rather than the open ocean. I think that's a really fun concept to play around with, actually. You all know how much I love colouring underwater scenes, so this page has so many elements that I enjoy. We've got sand, we've got shells, we've got coral, we've got fish, plenty of opportunities here to make it really bright, really colourful. I'm already picturing a really deep blue water gradient, or we could do like a really tropical aqua turquoisey blue, a blue green, no, deep blue, oh, teal green? Deep blue, deep blue. I think this page has so much potential to be vibrant. I'm just thinking aloud in my head, because if I do a really deep blue background, then I can use all these really vibrant colors and it's going to look really cohesive. But if I go lighter with like a blue-green kind of background, then the background's going to fade away a bit and everything else is going to pop up. But because we've got these kind of like lines around here, I think the deep blue is going to look better. Yeah, I think deep blue. Because it is my first page in this book, I'm not completely sure what mediums I'm going to use yet. I might experiment a little and see what works with the paper. It isn't a very thick paper. I can feel the tooth in it, but it is a little bit on the thinner side. So I'll have to give a few different things a go, I think, and see what it will take. But yeah, that looks really fun and summery and fresh. And finally, for my last page this month, which brings me to 10 book choices, or 11 pages if you include the second Rooms of Wonder page, I am going to be colouring another page by Melpomeni Chatzipanagiotou. As you know, she is our featured artist on the channel at the moment, and I'd really love to get another page completed this month in one of her books. But I am not choosing the page this time or the book. I'm going to let the spinner wheel decide both of those. Last time it absolutely did me dirty picking nature mandalas and bugs. So my least favorite book and my least favorite page that I never would have chosen myself. But you know what? I'm actually really glad it did, because it pushed me to color something that I would never have picked on my own, and I ended up actually enjoying it. So I thought we would let fate decide again this month and see where the spinner wheel takes us. This could be a disaster. Let's have a look and see which book we're going to be coloring from. Please not nature mandalas. Oh, okay, Flower Fantasy. That's the newest one, isn't it? Okay, I just grabbed my book here so we can have a look when we choose a page here. Now, I've only coloured one page in this one so far, and I'm actually not really too happy with the result. It is a colour along on the channel, but I think I could have chosen some better colours for that page. So hopefully this one will redeem myself now. Close that, escape that, go over here, and I have popped numbers 0 to 51, I believe it was. Yep. So I've preloaded this with the number of pages that is in these books. So all of her books have 51 pages. Circle of Life has 96 because that's a double-sided book. So I could have changed that if Circle of Life was picked, but it wasn't. So let's spin the wheel, and as I did last time, I'm going to start from this page as page 1. So let's have a look and spin. Please pick a good one for me. I actually really like this book, so I think I'd be happy with pretty much any of the pages. And is that 15? 15, yes. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm not counting that one, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, did I count them last time in the other book? 5, let's have a look. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh, that would have been a good one. 12, oops, got 2, 13, 14, and 15. Now, let me do it. We might cheat here as well. Let me see. I'm going to see if I start from the actual first colouring page. Let me move that out of the way. What page number 15 is, and then we'll decide out of the two of them. So, this is one option. Okay. So how many pages I could just count 4. Let's just start from the beginning. I'll lose count otherwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that one. 5 and that one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, which one do I like best? Do you guys want to colour along? And if so, which page would you prefer? I don't know which one I like better. I'm trying to think of colour palettes for both. This one I can, like, it's underwater, so I'm thinking like an aqua or a turquoise colour with some orangey red roses, or even white roses perhaps, and then gold. So we do white roses with like a ruby or something. Yeah, so I can think of a colour palette in my head for this one. What are these? Is that like a chain link? Is it? Yeah. And then this one, so we've got water, we've got all of these hanging flowers there. A tree trunk, some fish, a boat, and these big flowers. I don't know what colours. I'll have to have a think about that one. Let me know which page you prefer. If you want to colour along, that is. Which one would you prefer to see? Oh, I like that page. As a colour along, that page or that page? And I'll see if there's one that's more popular than the other. I might choose that one, but I will see when it comes time to colour it which page is calling my name the most. I kind of feel like I'm leaning towards this one. This one might be my go-to. Maybe. Let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comments. So those are all of my colouring plans for July. As always, we will see how many of these I actually managed to finish before the end of the month, but I also have a pile of whips. Now, I did do my whip challenge video that was put up last week that you might have seen, and a lot of you did request a second version of that. So I'll just give you a quick look for those of you that haven't seen it yet. So I have some whips that we'll be working on. So here's one from Rita Berman that we didn't get to touch in that challenge. And then this snake page, we got a little bit further with that one. Summer Nights, there's 2 in here. Let's see if I can find them. Let me do it like this. There's one at the back. That one. And then, oh, there we go. And then that one. So 2 in that book to finish. We've got 1 in Romantic Country. And I think that's it there. Yep. So for this one, I'm going to do like a really nice sunset background, which is going to be fun. Starfall, this one will be easy to complete. And that's that page there. And then I have Wonderful Wildflowers. So I had 10 whips. What have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I finished 1, 2. Was I counting that as my 10th? So I have finished 3 of the pages since then. I always lose this page. I think it's further at the back. That's the one. Oh, I had a bookmark after all that. So that page from Joanna's Rooms of Wonder, Wonderful Wildflowers. I'm too used to saying Rooms of Wonder. And then that from Kerby's A Fragile World as well. So quite a few whips here to complete. Now, I would love to hear from you guys. Which page are you most excited to see me colour this month? Or is it one that you'd really love to see as a colour along? Let me know down in the comments, because your suggestions, they really do help me decide what to film next. And if you are excited for July plans as I am, leave me a pineapple down in the comments so I know that you've made it to the end with me. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I would love to have you join our colouring community by subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, happy colouring, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.